Good morning, everyone. And we are live today in Mortgage Syndicate. This is the P.I.L.L Method Room. This is the P.I.L.L Method Room, but we are actually, the P.I.L.L Method Club and the Mortgage Syndicate Club are combining their forces today so that you can learn how to pay off mortgages in 7 years. Not just the mortgage, folks, but mortgages, student loans, credit cards, car loans. I mean, the whole deal in an average of 7 to 9 years. But Jared, I got an email the other day from a client that said, thank you for helping me to pay off our $310,000 mortgage and our other debts in only 3.6 years. So it can be done faster, but it's all about how cheaply you can handle your loan. It's not about coming up with more money. The reason why it takes so long to pay off these debts is because the interest cost, it is way too high. So let's see what we can do to cut down on those interest costs. Jared, good morning to you, sir.
Hey, good morning, Don. Hope all is well. Happy Sunday to everybody. Really excited to be in the Mortgage Syndicate. And if you're not following the Mortgage Syndicate, click the greenhouse and follow the club. But we also want you to click the link above our head, the P.I.L.L Method Club. We actually typically do this room in the P.I.L.L Method Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. But for the month of May, we're going to be doing a little bit of a club tour so that other clubs can benefit from understanding this groundbreaking information that the banks do not want you to know. Because if the banks did teach you this, they will lose out on millions of dollars in interest payments. And that's exactly what we want to happen. We want everybody in this room to take all that money that they're spending in interest cost and redirect it to investments for their families, inheritance for your kids, vacations, etc. And what Don's going to show you is basically how you take that 30-year mortgage that people get saddled with and how to pay off the right amount at the right time so that you're paying it off in 7 to 9 years. So we want to share this with as many people in the community. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that if you don't know how. What you do is you click that little box with the arrow pointing up that says 1 right now. You click that, you click share on Clubhouse, and you can either just click the share button or you can tell your friends to come on in. So I'm going to put some gems because we're about to drop gems, and now you just saw it turned into 2. So we got 42 people in the room right now. We'll love for that number 2 go to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's the way that you can kind of show some love to Don for showing you this incredible information that he can charge a lot of money for, but we are passionate about making sure that the community is not wasting money on interest costs. So love to see those shares go up, and we appreciate the support. So what we're going to do today is we'll actually be sharing this room on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And so if you want to see this live on your computer screen, whether that's your iPad, your desktop, or your laptop, you can go to the chat and follow the instructions. That's the easiest way, but I'll read it out to you now. What you do is you go to ice10kvideos.com. And then once you get there, you choose the panel that says live. You skip through the commercial, and you'll be able to see Don actually in his studio right now, putting up the numbers on the screen and showing you how the interest gets canceled. So if you'd like to do that, just go into the chat, follow the instructions, and you can watch it on a big screen while you're listening to it on Clubhouse. Last thing I'll say before we go back to Don is we want this room to be very interactive. So we want you to be curious and say, what about my refinance? What about my car loans? What about my student loans? What about my credit card debt? Should I do a 15-year mortgage, a 30 or a 40? How the heck is a 5% interest rate better than a 2.9? The more interaction from the room, the better. And we really, really love questions. So feel free to raise your hand, come on stage, and ask questions at any time, because closed mouths don't get fed. And this is a room where we fed a ton of people that have the bravery to come on stage and ask a question, and it benefits the whole room. So with that being said, we're going to go through some moderator introductions and then get to the first question. So whoever wants to be that first person, please raise your hand and come on stage. But until then, Don's going to tell you a little bit more about himself and this method, which will hopefully stoke some questions that you can ask. And also make sure to click that P.I.L.L Method link at the top, follow the club, and read the about description. That'll also help you understand what the P, the I, the L, and the L stand for within P.I.L.L Method and what you can get out of today's room. All right, I'm going to pass to you, Don, so you can go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people what they can expect today.
Jared, I can't tell you how excited I am to be here in the Mortgage Syndicate Club, the collaboration between the Mortgage Syndicate and the Pill Method Club. I can't think of a better collaboration. Mortgages, and how you can get you can get your home, how you can now pay that home off in 7 to 9 years by using this information. Buy and hold investors can now use this information to gain equity 5 to 7 times faster, cash out refi 7 to 10 years sooner at a much lower interest cost. Listen, folks, I am so excited about this. My name is Don Daniel. I'm the founder of Pill Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. We have a book by the same name. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later, which is a #1 seller on Amazon. And we have been doing this for the past 16 years, telling people how they can pay off their debt in record time by not focusing on how much money they can throw at the principal, but how they can pay less interest. We've boiled it down to 4 fundamental principles: prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amounts, leverage, and liquidity. That's the pill method. Once you know those 4 principles, everything about loans fits in there. And the reason why we need to talk about loans today, folks, is because we have not been educated on how loans actually work, but we're expected to use them. And folks, when that happens, we're playing a game that we can't possibly win. And right now, I'm telling you, the way that it's being taught today, we're paying, it is the most inefficient way to pay back a loan on the face of the planet. We're going to step up that efficiency so that you can borrow your money, not at retail, but at wholesale, 75% off on borrowing the money. Oh my goodness. All because you know the techniques, and all because we're using technology to do the math that guides us as to what to do and when to do it. So I'm so excited to get started today. Let's get into these moderator introductions, and so we can go ahead and jump into our first questions.
All right, all right. And again, audience, go ahead and raise your hand, come on stage. This room will last 2 hours, but it flies by really quickly because the mind-blowing information you're going to get. So come on stage and ask questions. All right, so my name is Jared Albritton. I've been in the tech space for over 15 years. I do a lot of content around the startup space, but I also talk about the metaverse, NFTs, crypto. If you're interested in seeing my rooms, go ahead and check out my replays. Give me a follow here. And also check me out on Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn. Pass the mic to Derek.
Hey, thank you, Jared. But I would love to defer it to the ladies, and then I would go after the last lady.
All right, with a gentleman, Kenyatta, you're up next.
Good morning, good people. My name is Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And I am passionate about helping you build generational wealth. And I can assist with that because I can help you find a property. I can help you finance that property, cancel the interest on that property, get you in yet another property. And I can do that as the official lender of this house, the P.I.L.L Method House, which means that not only can I help with fix and flips and your business, but a myriad of other things such as hobbies. So tap in with me if you got a side hustle you need money for.
All right, Wendy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Wendy here. I am the proud owner of Windy City Taxes here in Chicago. My website is windycitytaxservice.com. I play an integral piece to this puzzle here because you have to see me to get those taxes done, those financials done, so you can present them to your lender, close your deals, and then see Don for your P.I.L.L method. Thank you for joining us today.
All right, RB.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm RB, licensed realtor in the state of New York and also Connecticut, buy and hold investor on the residential multifamily side, and a landlord operating in the long-term and short-term rental space. Just here to add value wherever I can. And also, I have a passion for helping the community understand how to create generational wealth through the acquisition of real estate. So I provide opportunities for people to be able to understand that process. So we have a give back free first-time home buyers seminar, which is taking place tonight. Myself and Credit Goddess and a couple of other people will be giving you the A to Z on how to buy your first property. And then also on May 19th, anybody that is in the New York City, Manhattan area, we are having a networking event for all real estate entrepreneurs and people in that space to come free of charge, 5 to 10 p.m. You can click the link in my Instagram bio or my rb10k.com card to get all of the details.
RB, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering, the next time you do your home buyer seminar, I was wondering if I might be able to come in virtually, like via Zoom or something, and tell them a little bit about what we do as part of your home buyer seminar. I would be glad to volunteer.
Let me tell you why you are going to live such a long time, Don. I literally was on the phone with Rose this morning, and that is exactly what we were talking about. We were saying we have the one, it's too short of notice for today, but for June, we would love to collaborate with you and basically let people know what the process looks like to get into home ownership, but then how they can pay down their debt in such a short time period with the P.I.L.L method. So we are absolutely on the same page, and I would love that.
Excellent. Because once we get through the intros, I have a question for you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right.
Perfect.
All right, we got a special guest in the house, Clubhouse legend, Credit Ninja. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, Jared. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just waking up. For those who don't know, I'm a credit expert. Been doing it for 27 years. I help entrepreneurs get access to capital to start a business, grow a business, scale business, and just been busy all week hosting. For those who know, I live in Las Vegas, so the NFL draft was here. We had two different other conventions here, so I've been hosting, been going out, and just building my network out so that way I can impact more people. So I'm here to support my friend Jared. And Jared, I want to get on the phone with you later. Can you give me a call? I have some things to ask you. Thank you, Ice.
All right, no problem. I'll definitely hit you up. Up next is 10K Cards.
Shout out to the room. Shout out to the side hustlers. Shout out to the new home buyers. If you have a side hustle and you need money, you go to Kenyatta. But after you get that money and you need a 10K card, you come to Sean. Hey guys, look, founder and CEO of 10K Cards. My goal here is to support Don, stand 10 toes behind what he's doing. And also, most importantly, it's important to stop wasting money on interest rate and take some of that same money and reinvest back into building your empire and your family's legacy. So what Don is doing is very important for any loan structure, not only mortgages. So listen, take notes, and also bring anyone into the room that you think will benefit from it. As part of Don's program, when you purchase a copy of his book, he's going to gift you one of the basic version of the 10K card, guys. So stand close, listen carefully, and get yourself into the program. It's a win-win for not only you but your family. With that said, Jared, back to you, my boy.
All right, all right. So this is the fun part of the show. This is where Don drops gems and answers questions from the audience. But again, audience participation is what makes this show great. So there's 63 people in here. Don't be shy. Raise your hand, come on stage and ask your questions. And if you're listening on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, write your questions into the chat. Our man Kirk and Don will be looking out for your questions, and we will make sure we prioritize you as well. If you want to see this live on a bigger screen, actually see the numbers that Don's breaking down while he's in the live studio streaming this, you can go to ice10kvideos.com, choose the panel that says live, and then go ahead and skip the commercial, and you'll be watching Don doing what he's doing on Clubhouse live on camera. All right. And I see another person has come on the stage, and I want to make sure we give him the chance to introduce himself before we hop to my boy Paul with the first question. So we're just doing introductions, Anthony. If you could just quickly let people know who you are, what you do, and then we're going to get into the first question. So Anthony, you got it.
Good morning. I had to get my voice ready, y'all. Y'all better wake up, man. It's Sunday morning and get your Jesus on and get your investing on. Let's go. I am Anthony Glenn. I'm out of sunny Southern California. I own the first Black-owned Remax franchise in Oceanside, California. And I also own a mortgage company, and I have a nonprofit called Veteran Homeowners Club, where we educate veterans how to utilize their VA entitlement, and we do community outreach with the 7 businesses that I own. I also have a transaction coordinator company that's an arm from my real estate business, and Wire When in Real Estate, mentoring and coaching for those of you looking to invest in real estate. All of that information is in my 10K card. And guess what? We're giving scholarships away. So if you got a badass kid that needs to go to school that has a 3.0, let's go. That rhyme, y'all. So I'm super excited to learn about. The biggest thing is I'm a student. So I'm just here to learn and add value on things that I have done. That's it. Thank you for letting me join, Jared. I appreciate you guys. And let's go, y'all. Turn up.
Hey, Anthony, what do we have to do to get you to sing for us this morning?
Oh, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go, man. Let me know. Pay off your mortgages with ICE. Let's go. You need to go. No, I'm joking, y'all.
Okay, now.
We love it.
All right, that's that
I
Good
need
try,
a
energy.
brother.
jingle.
Let's
Good,
go.
good, good try,
Let's
brother.
go.
We still love you though.
Let's go, y'all.
That's that energy. And also, Derek, I almost forgot about you, brother. Please do a quick intro, and then we're gonna pass it to Paul.
Yes, sir. Hey, Derek Young, real estate investor out of Birmingham, Alabama. Proud owner of Day Group 21, where we focus on 3 things: funding, education, and network. If you want to know how to scale, how to leverage your time with a person, we teach you how to understand money, and we partner up with those that add value to our clients. And so, my name is Derek, and I'm done speaking.
All right, all right. And thank you to the 11 people that have shared the room. Let's make sure nobody misses out on this. Go ahead and click that number 11, and let's keep that number going up. But Paul, thank you so much for coming to the stage. Good to see you, brother. Please let Don know what your question is.
How y'all doing this morning? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good.
Awesome. Dr. J, always a pleasure to be a part of anything you're doing. Been dropping dimes since 95, like Magic Johnson. And then we got Anthony in here sounding like R. Kelly. I love it. Question is, I live in San Antonio. I'm building a house that'll be done in December. And I did a 270-day rate lock, which is kind of absurd, but with the rates going up, it looks like it's going to pay off. And my question is should I aim to put more down up front? Right now, I'm looking to put down 20% on this new house. Or is there some other method that you recommend that I do, or put down less than 20%? So that's my 2 cents. I got a house I'm going to put on the market next week and try to do a lease back. But that's my question, and any thoughts or advice is most appreciated.
Paul, I'm glad you asked that question this morning. How are you this morning, by the way?
I'm great. I'm about to play a soccer game, as a matter of fact. So I got a few minutes before I go show these young bucks up.
Okay, man. Okay. Hey, listen. So I just need to get a little bit of information. Number one, we're going to show you, if we have time, why you want to put just the minimum down. Now, we need to figure out if we're putting more down because you want to save on interest and time, or you need to control what your payment is going to be. Which one?
Yeah, it would be more for the monthly payment. Right now, it's a little bit higher than I would like it to be estimated. So that would be the reason for it.
Okay, so
I'm more comfortable with like a more comfortable monthly rate than I am anything else.
All right, so we need to take a look at that, and let's see what we're going to take a look and do a little bit of opportunity cost, and take a look at that and see what we can do. Now, what is the minimum you need to put down?
Honestly, I don't even know. I haven't even explored that. with the money I'm going to make on this sale of this house, I was just thinking 20% would be a good number, not have to pay any PMI. But I could be thinking the wrong way. That's why I came on this morning.
Let me give you an example here of a client that I have now. And he actually used to live across the street from me. And it sounds like you're in your car. So you're going to have to watch the replays to see the example on YouTube. So be sure to go to the P.I.L.L Method YouTube channel, ice10kvideos.com. Go there. And then, of course, you have to, click on you want to be able to subscribe and then click the notification bell.
We'll do it.
All right. All right. So he's got he's an engineer, it's $400,000 mortgage. And folks, I'm going to change this. I have $200,000 on the screen. I'm about to change this to $400,000. And at the time, it was at 3%. Okay. And I know it's probably going to be higher now, but I'm just going to give it to you like he was giving it to me. All right. Is at 3%. And then he was wondering, listen, and he put the minimum down to get it to the 400,000, but he had an extra $100,000. So he was going to say, should I put the $100,000 down on this $400,000 loan so that I can have a $300,000 loan at 3% for 30 years? I told him, no, you want the $400,000 loan. And since he was an engineer, he went through the numbers for me and said, this is what we're talking about, Don. This is why I want to do it this way. So I'm going to compare. I'm going to do a comparison here on these two loans. All right. And there we go. So on the 400, let's see, 400,000, we're going to get rid of this one. All right. $300,000 loan, $400,000 loan. All right. At 3%, the payment is, let me do the calculation. The payment is $1,686.42. $1,686.42. That's just the principal and interest. All right. And then he says, well, the entire, the amount that the bank wants over 30-year span is $207,111. Okay. And then he says, well, if I put the $100,000 down, my payment is $1,264, and the total interest cost for 30 years is $155,000. Plus, I get to avoid PMI. I still told him you need the $400,000 loan. So, and I said, now once you get that $400,000 loan and you're making your very first payment, now he could afford the payment either way. I said, once you do that, where is your $100,000? He says, well, my $100,000 is still in the bank. I said, once you make that first payment, can you then apply your $100,000 as a prepayment to principal once you do that? Now, I'm skipping a few steps here, Paul, because I know you're lacing up your shoes and getting ready to go. All right. So when we do that, and he puts $100,000 down as a prepayment, now you get to see cumulative principal and cumulative interest on my screen here. And we're going to go to cumulative principal down to about $100,000. Okay. Now, when you do that, it takes us all the way down to line 125 on our amortization schedule. In other words, his $100,000 as a prepayment knocks off 10 years, 5 months off this loan instantly. And he still has a $300,000 loan. You follow me so far?
Yeah, I am. It's interesting, very, very interesting, a true gem. So absolutely, I'm listening.
Okay. And so once he does that, he was hoping to save about a little over $50,000 by putting the $100,000 down. But it takes 30 years to realize that $57,000 savings in interest by putting the $100,000 as a down payment. But he's going to save instantly over $110,000 right now instantly by making a prepayment of $100,000. Now, both ways, he has a $300,000 loan, but he doesn't start out at payment number one on a 30-year note with his $300,000. He is 10 years, 5 months in on a 30-year note with a $300,000 loan. The only problem is, Paul, he does have PMI for 1 month.
I love it. I love it. That makes I didn't even think to look at it like that, but that's why you guys are experts. Great advice. I'm definitely going to investigate that and talk to my lender to see what they got up their sleeve. Now, from a lender standpoint, do they benefit one way or the other? Do they make more money or commissions? Should I be wary of any of those, whether they go with a bigger down payment or not? Just curious.
Well, a couple of things. They usually get paid based on a percentage of the actual loan. But so you want to watch that. So there are a lot of things to consider, but the bottom line is going to be this: if we know about interest cancellation, any fees that you have to incur, you're going to more than make up by saving a ton of interest, because it doesn't just stop there. I wanted to get to the end of this before you had to go, because but I want to start at the beginning now, if I can, if you still have a little bit of time.
I do, and I hate to be the guy who's rushing. I came on here just hoping to get a quick deal.
Yeah.
I do have like 2 minutes, but I mean, I'm definitely showing back up, and I'll follow you and ping you if I have more questions. But yeah, I have a couple more minutes.
Well, let me take 2 minutes here. Okay. The very first payment on this loan is on the $400,000 loan. Okay. The very first payment is $1,686.42. That's just the principal and interest. That does not include taxes and insurance. So out of that, the principal payment is $686.42 and $1,000 going to interest. If we make that first payment, let's call it January, the $686.42 is subtracted from what we owe, and it takes us to the principal balance on line one of $399,313. Now, we don't owe anything else until February, so we're just going to hold right there. But the February principal payment is $688.14. That is the February principal payment. So here's my question to you, Paul. Do we have to wait till February to give the bank that $688.14?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm still pretty far out, so I don't even know
Okay.
have the high level numbers for what they.
So here's my. Let me put it to you this way: do you have to ask permission to pay extra money on your loan?
I don't believe so. I have not asked that to the lender, but I wouldn't think so. No.
No, you don't have to. That's exactly right. So the $688.14 that on this particular loan that would be due in February, if you had it, you could actually give that to the bank in January as well. If you did that, you're paid down to line 2 on your mortgage in January. Your next mortgage payment for February is actually on line 3 of the schedule. You get rid of line 2 on your amortization schedule for only $688.14. That's it. Line 2 is gone. The interest cost on line 2 is $998.28. You completely eliminate that interest payment of $998.28. It's gone. You never have to pay that just by making the principal payment early. So that's why this is where I generally start this, but I didn't know if I had enough time to really get into that. And I wanted you to be able to see that when you do the replay. So I'm also going to show you what would happen if you make the January payment on this mortgage, and then you do a prepayment of line 2, line 3, and line 4, just the principal payment. It saves you nearly $3,000 in interest on this loan.
Wow. No, it's powerful stuff. You know, it's just the problem. Not the problem, but the thing is, everybody says the right way to do it is put 20% down, and that's kind of what people believe. And
yeah,
obviously, there's tricks to the trade, but no, it's all great knowledge. I'm going to go subscribe to that P.I.L.L method, and I got to run. But you guys are the best. Thanks for all the knowledge, and Jared, keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Paul, thank you for showing up today.
Have a good morning, guys.
Jared, back to you, sir.
All right, Paul, thank you so much for the question. I see another hand raised, so we're going to bring you up as well and have you ask your question as well. So we love the participation and we love the questions. So feel free to raise your hand and get those questions answered. So Don, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and understand how can I pay off my personal mortgage, car loan, credit card debt, student loan, etc., how can I get that paid off in 7 to 9 years, or amazingly 3 to 4 years, like that one example? What would they do to get in touch with you?
Well, they would just go to the link at the top of the screen right here. And if you're streaming, you can't see it. So it would be ice10klive.com, ice10klive.com. And then you will see a button that says get a savings and earnings report. Click that button, and then you will follow the instructions. And once you follow the instructions, that will let you into our financial form where you put in all your financial data. Someone from my office will then give you a call and set up a consultation. Then you will know the month, day, and year you're going to be debt-free and how much interest you save. And when we figure out how much interest you save, our computer tells us, based on the amount of interest you save and some other factors, here is the cost of the program that's going to come out of the interest savings. Listen, we're going to show you how to get the bank to pay for your program so you don't have to, so you can cut your interest costs by 75% and pay off all of your debt. Not only that, but it's a lifetime program. I have we're going to be able to talk about this in just a few minutes, but I have one of my clients that's coming to Nashville, and he's going to be talking about, he's been on the program since 2008. And and I think next year he's going to be paying off his third home on his lifetime program. He paid for it once, but he's going to be paying off his third home, and he's building up his portfolio in this manner by paying off homes and putting renters in. So it's a fantastic way to go, folks. I'll be glad to talk to anyone who wants to know how they can manage their interest costs better. Back to you, Jared.
Awesome. So yeah, definitely click that link at the top and click Savings and Earnings Report. I see some new moderators popped in, so I want to give them a chance to introduce themselves. And then Cassie, we're going to get straight to you. All right. So Credit Goddess, you popped out before you could do an introduction. I'd love for you to quickly tell people what you do and how they can get in touch with you.
Yes, I apologize. I'm actually between two rooms, Otis room and this room. But I'm back. Hey, everyone. My name is Rose Laura Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. I'm all things credit and the official credit expert for the P.I.L.L Method crew. But we're here in the mortgage syndicate. I'm so glad that we're able to hop from different groups so we can spread this this message around. So Don, good job for being consistent. I'm a credit score improvement strategist. So not only do I help you repair, but I also help you rebuild your credibility with the bank so that way you can gain access to their money. That's what it's all about, the key to good credit. And I'm also a business credit consultant. So I help business owners, entrepreneurs establish business credit under their EIN so that way they can separate their personal and their business. So definitely tap in with me if you guys are interested in my services. Text your name and email address to the in my bio, 888-557-5778. And if you guys have any credit related questions, definitely tap in with me. Thank you guys so much for having me here. Next, RB, if she's here. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Oh, actually, we're going to pass it to Ashley, and then we're going to go straight to Cassie. So Ashley, you're up next.
Hey, y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy May.
Hey, y'all. I love that. I am
just here to support today my good friends Don and Jared. It's great to be on the stage with all of these amazing humans and in the room with each and every one of you. So have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great month. I'm here to listen, learn, and support. Thanks for the opportunity to share.
Awesome. Love the energy, Ashley. Appreciate you. All right. So we're going to go to the next question. And again, if you want to ask a question, raise your hand, come on stage. This room goes real fast. We're only going to be here till 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Is that right? No, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So yeah, come on stage and ask your questions. Cassie, you're
Hey,
up next.
Jared, before we go to that next question, we have some real estate investors that are on the stage. So listen, if they would like to chime in with some questions, I'm talking about some of the very hard questions that maybe a real estate investor would ask in terms of what we do so people can understand it better and how our program can fit into what they're doing. It's not just for residential, but for investing as well. So if any questions come up, please ask them because it's going to be helpful to other real estate investors. So listen, bring the hard questions.
Hey,
Absolutely.
I'm glad you said that, Dylan.
Yeah. Yeah. So Derek, after we get to Cassie, because ladies first, we're gentlemen, and then after that, for you to give them a hard question so that the audience of real estate investors can understand how this can make them serious money. So Cassie, thank you so much for coming to the stage, and would love for you to ask your question.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for bringing me up. I want to say again, thank you for all the information. I have asked questions in the past. I'm not going to ask a specific question now. I'm going to defer to the gentleman who is going to be giving us information. Thank you so much. Again, you're a million appreciated, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys.
Miss Cassie, thank you so much for coming back into the room and giving us support. Anytime you have a question, you just flash your mic and Jared will come to you immediately. How's that sound?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, Derek, what you got for us?
All right, Dan, you said it. So I'm about to bring it. I hope you can overcome this objection. All right. So I'm a real estate investor and I'm looking to pay down my current loan that I have on a duplex. How can, shall I say, this P.I.L.L method program help me, but also add money into my pocket? Is that hard enough?
Wow, you want to pay off the loan plus you want to make money on the deal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, let's ask and see what it is what's your primary focus? Is your primary focus paying off this loan faster and more efficiently, or is your primary goal to cash out refi?
To pay down first and then cash out refi.
Okay. So so is this your only property that you have, or do you have other properties?
I have other properties.
So you're actively trying to get more properties.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So would it be safe to say that the majority of the rents that you are receiving, would it be safe to say you want to invest that money as opposed to using that money to pay down on a loan?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay, let's take a look at that. So I'm going to put something on the screen here. I got to change screens, and we're going to take a look at a couple of office buildings. All right, so let's see here. We're going to change screens, stop this, and then share here. So this is a couple of office buildings, and the payment, the mortgage payments on these buildings come to about $14,000. Okay, when you add it all up. $14,000 a month on these office buildings. One is at a 15-year amortization. The other one is a 25-year amortization. And he's cash flowing about $41,000 a month on these two buildings. Okay. So yeah, I need you to work with me, Derek, because this is going to be a give and take.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I'm like, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I'm working with you.
All right, go ahead. So here's what we're looking at. He read my book, and then he gave me a call here. He's right here in the Huntsville area, and Huntsville, Alabama. He gave me a call and said, "I read your book, but I see that I may be leaving some money on the table, but I still don't want to use the majority of my monies that I'm investing because I still think, even though what you're doing, I still think I can make more money with investing that I can save on my interest, looking at the opportunity cost." And I told him, I said, well, what you want to do is both. You want to pay down the loan and take all of the money that you've earmarked for investing. You want to invest that money as well. You want to keep on doing what you've been doing. He says, well, then how can I save on interest if we do that? I said, well, when I'm talking to most real estate investors, they tell me that they keep a fund on the side, a reserve fund, to do maintenance and repairs. So my first question to you, Derek, is do you have a fund that you use for maintenance and repairs?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. And he keeps his in a bank account. He keeps his money in a savings account, and it's making about, I don't know, 1/10 of 1% right now. How about you?
No, I keep mine in where I can get to it with no penalties taking it out.
Okay. All right. So that's good to know. So even with our program, all right, they're going to give you up to 6 withdrawals a month with no penalties. And if it's kept in the bank, and we don't even come close to that. Okay. So here's what we're talking about. So here's what he has out of that $41,000 a month. He's taking the majority of that and reinvesting that money. He puts about $6,000 a month into that reserve account. Follow me so far?
Yes, sir, I am.
Are you watching this online as well?
No, sir, I'm following you.
Okay. So if you want to see this, folks, if there are folks that are maybe new in the room, and they want to see this example online, Jared, can you instruct them as to where they can find the information?
Yeah, for sure. So if you want to see this on a laptop, an iPad, or desktop while staying in the clubhouse room, just open up a browser, type in ice10kvideos.com. That's ice10kvideos.com. That'll take you to Don's YouTube channel. Once you get there, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, choose the panel that says live, and you'll see Don live in the studio, putting up the numbers on the screen, showing you how he's breaking down the numbers. And yeah, that's how you get to see it. If you want to read these instructions, feel free to go into the chat. I've posted it a couple different times as well. All right, back to you, Don.
All right, Derek. So I get really excited about this type of example. So now he never really thought about how much interest he was paying before each month. He was looking at the interest rate and making a decision on these loans. But because his tenants were paying the mortgages, he was just concerned about how much he was paying each month and how much he was making in rents. So that's where he was. And he just looked at the interest he was paying as the cost of doing business until he read my book. All right. And so when he read the book, he said, I think there's something else going on here. I'm going to put on the screen here. So when you see the playback, you can see that in the first mortgage he has here in 2 months, this is at 3.25% interest on a 15-year amortization. He's paid it down by $7,374.92. But the interest cost on that, it cost him $4,609.08 in interest. He never really looked at the interest cost month by month, adding it up. Never really looked at that. So to get that $7,300 in potential equity, it cost him $4,600 in interest. Follow me so far?
Yes, sir. Following you.
Now, on the second loan I have on the screen, in 37 months, now this is a 25-year amortization on an SBA loan at 5%. So in 37 months, he paid it down by $99,795.91. But he never looked at the fact that to pay it down by the almost $100,000, it cost him $222,252 in interest to get it there. Now, let me ask you, do you think that's too much interest to pay to get $99,000 in potential equity for paying down the loan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see what we can do about that. And I'm gonna go to the end first, and then we're going to go back to the beginning to show you how we go about this. All right. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page and show you what we did for him on his indebtedness of $2,236,376. The bank wants him to pay that off over 21.9 years. But the bank also wants him to pay $1,123,000 in interest. That is a lot of interest. But if he's cash flowing, he wasn't really concerned about that. In fact, he was saying, there's other things I could do to offset my interest costs. But here's what I showed him. Instead of paying $1,123,000, how about you pay out $243,000 instead. $243,000 and pay this loan off if both loans off if you wanted to in 4.9 years instead of 21.9. Take the interest savings of over $800,000 and then invest. If we are intentional about the interest savings and we keep track of the interest savings, over $800,000, almost $900,000 in interest savings, could he now get his property, get the same asset for almost $900,000 less? And then take that money that he would have spent in interest, can he also invest that too?
Yes, sir. I'm so glad that I pulled this up because I like what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm watching it now.
All right. Now, if we take that, what if he could take that money? Now, the extra interest that he was paying that he was counting as the cost of doing business, he was not really looking at, not only was he not looking at that the way we do, but he wasn't looking at the fact that by paying that extra interest, it can't also make him money. If he could get that property and save almost $900,000 in interest, can he now invest that $900,000 in interest that he would have spent with the bank? Can he invest that in building up his own portfolio and turn it into almost $9.7 million?
That's a gem right there.
Okay. That's what we're talking about. Now, going back to try to understand what it is that we're doing and how we got it there. Okay. Because if we show this, we're going to show everything. We're going to show if he wanted to pay it off, he could pay it off. But guess what? He's really not interested in paying this property off. What he's really interested in is getting to the point where he can cash out refi years sooner at a much lower interest cost. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to switch screens here, put up a new screen. All right. And then bring up my notes also so I can put this loan in the right way. So we're going to bring up another tab here on this. We're going to change screens. And there we go. All right. So we're going to put in here, I've got to bring up my notes here so I can get this get this right. So his payment on this loan, okay, is $8,700. Okay, $8,704. Okay, and it was 300 months. Okay, 25 years. We're going to take out the principal payment, but we're going to change the interest rate to 5%. That is now going to give us what the loan is. It's $1,488,906. Okay, that's the loan. Okay, here's how much interest the bank wants on this loan: $1,122,293.35, which he really wasn't concerned about before because these properties are cash flowing so well. Does that make sense to you, sir?
Right, it does.
All right. So that's kind of the thinking. And so he says, now here's where we're going to save him some money and where he can make some money. All right. Now remember, he's taking the majority of his money and he's reinvesting it, but he's got this money over here on the side, nearly $100,000 in this account that he's using to do maintenance and repairs. He's putting that $6,000 a month in there. So if we take a look at payment number one here, payment number one, $2,500 goes to principal, $6,203 goes to interest. So if we make that payment this month, all right, his principal payment next month would be the $25,1064. Now, as we know, let's say because this is a commercial loan, all right, I want to cover two things. One thing that you didn't ask me about, and that's prepayment penalties. Because it's a commercial loan, there also could be prepayment penalties. The thing that I don't worry about is prepayment penalties. I like to use the word prepayment cost. So if we know what the prepayment cost is, how much is it going to cost me to prepay? Then I would take a look at what you're going to charge me to prepay, and then I'm going to take a look at how much interest I'm going to save when I do. And if my interest savings outweighs the cost of prepaying, I'm better off prepaying. Does that make sense, sir?
That makes a lot of sense because you're still saving at the end of the day with how you're structuring it, going towards the interest.
Exactly, because that prepayment penalty just keeps people making the minimum payments all the time while they're racking up big interest bills, but they don't realize that if they prepay, the amount of interest that they save dwarfs the amount of interest, the amount of the fee they would have to pay if they were to go ahead and take advantage of prepayment. All right, so the fee generally is nowhere near the interest saved by prepaying. That's number one. So let's take a look at this. So if we make a payment this month, then we don't owe anything until next month. So, but the principal payment for next month is $25,1064. If he prepays that, let's see, I'm going to give this to the bank this month on top of my regular payment, another $2,500. Then he eliminates line 2 with that. And his next mortgage payment for next month is actually on line 3 of the schedule. He just saved himself $6,193 in interest he never has to pay because he chose when to give the bank that $2,510. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. That makes a lot of sense.
All right. Now, I am going to take a look at this thing, and our program does all of the math, takes a look at each investor and each homeowner and each family individually, and then makes recommendations as to what to do. I'm just picking some numbers out of the air just so that I can show how we save and make money using a system of interest cancellation. What I'm about to show is not necessarily what this particular investor will do to save money. We're just going to show what happens if he did do it, okay? So if we're looking at cumulative principal here and cumulative interest, All right. Let's take a look at these column 3 and column 4 for one whole year. All right. So 12 months in, we pay this loan down by $30,699, but it cost him $73,000 in interest. What just happened here? We just showed that even though these properties are cash flowing very well, he's got to pay over $104,000 out to pay this loan down by $30,000 in principal. $30,000, $30,699 in principal, but $73,000 in interest if we do it the bank's way, making the installment payments every single month on time. So here's what I asked him. I said, if we know we were going to pay this $30,699 anyway, and you have this money sitting in your bank, making 1/10 of 1%, could you borrow this $30,699.86 from yourself, from your bank account that's just sitting there, and advance it to this loan and be paid down to line 12 in 1 month instead of 12 months? You're paid all the way down the line 12 in 1 month, meaning you skip the interest payments between line 2 and line 12. Added up, it comes to a total of $67,661.37 saved in interest he never has to pay. What just happened here? He just got $30,000 in equity without having to give the bank $67,000 to get it. That's just what happened here. So does that make sense to you?
Sir, that makes all of the sense.
I am getting so excited. What? I'm sorry, man. I talked right over you. What were you saying?
No. I'm excited too because it's like you showing us how to skip the line. It's like getting a fast pass at Disney.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what happened. So now we're not saying he doesn't have to pay any interest. He gets the same deal here, but not for $73,000, but for the $6,203.78 in interest on the very first line if he did that. I'm not done with this. Let me ask you this. Since he's putting about $30,000 on this, but he's putting about $6,000 a month into his reserve account. He took 30 grand out. How long would it take him to pay himself back by using the percentages he's already using, the $6,000, about $6,000 a month? How long is it going to take him to pay himself back the 30 grand?
It won't take long because and see you changed my mind because I was looking at trying to pay off the property first, but I need to look at just going towards the interest because the money would be cheaper that way versus throwing money at the mortgage.
Right. So you want to do it in the right way. So here's what I pointed out to him. If you took 30,000 out of your savings account that you're using for a particular purpose, but it's just sitting there, it would take you about 5 months to pay that back because you're putting about $6,000 in. So if he pays that back to himself in 5 months, in another 5 months, could he do the same process all over again?
Yes, sir, he could. He'd be in better shape if he did.
And then in 5 months, do it again?
Yes, sir.
And then will he have more equity faster?
A whole lot faster.
And will he have it cheaper?
He would.
And then he's able to cash out refi at the point he wanted to cash out refi 5 to 7 years sooner at a much lower interest cost. Now he can cash out refi sooner than he had planned because he was just making the minimum payments before because the tenants were paying the bill.
I got something I want to share with you.
Okay, go right ahead, sir.
This is amazing. This is amazing. So what you've done is think I'm gonna try and get in contact with Hussein Bolt, and I can tell him I finally know somebody who's faster than him in paying off a mortgage.
Watch out now. Watch out. Watch out. Thank you so much. Do you have, thank you very much for bringing that question. I love talking to real estate investors because of everything that you all are doing that I have learned from Clubhouse. I wanted to just add a little something to the other calculations and stop leaving this money on the table as well. And this is tens and even hundreds of thousands of dollars we're leaving on the table. Not only that, but when you take a look at how much money that money could be making for you, now we're no longer leaving millions of dollars on the table because we're taking that money that could have been gone to, that would have gone to interest. We can now take that money and invest it too. Thank you very much, sir, for bringing that to the forefront. And if people are trying to back channel me because I'm watching like 4 screens. So if you want to ask a question on the back channel, please direct it to the moderators, Jarrett, and then we can handle that. So thank you so very much. Jarrett, back to you, sir.
All right, Derek. Thank you so much for that question. I think that was super helpful for all the mortgage syndicate members that are in real estate investing. So, Don, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you as a real estate investor to strategize across their portfolio, how would they do so?
Good. Listen, you can go to ice10klive.com and then, I mean, there's a lot of information in there. If they want to know how they can just, they can click on the button where they can get a hold of us and set up a consultation. Or if they want to know, specifically about their financial footprint and what we can do for them, they would just click on get a savings and earnings report. We would do a whole report for them. And listen, we have programs that can take one mortgage. We have programs that could take 3 mortgages. We have programs that could take up to 10 mortgages. We have programs that take up to 30 mortgages or more. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have, we can build a platform for you and show you exactly how much interest you're going to save and then how much the program will cost. And the program is a lifetime program and we don't charge for updates. So we thought about the Bill Gates model where, you have to keep paying to use, Microsoft Word. Once you pay for this program, it's paid for. All updates are free. Customer service is free for life. There's just so many benefits to this program. It's not even funny. Jared, I'm ready for the next question.
All right. And I just want to remind everybody to make sure that you click on Don's profile and you give him a follow. Click that always on notification, that bell right next to the follow button. Because when Don is on the stage, he's usually around the best real estate professionals dropping this P.I.L.L method fire. So you want to be following Don. Also, when you go to Don's profile, go all the way to the bottom and follow his club, the P.I.L.L Method Club. That's where we typically do the rooms. And if you click that club, you're going to see a whole library of replays from previous rooms that are going to give you examples that could be super helpful. And we'd love for you to share those replays with your friends and family that are not logged in the Clubhouse. Lastly, your hallway is curated by who you follow. So make sure you're following Derek, Kenyatta, Wendy, Credit Ninja, 10K Cars and Coffee. They all do amazing rooms on Clubhouse. If you're new to Clubhouse and you're like, I wish I could see more quality content like this, then just follow every single person on stage and you will not be disappointed. So up next, we're going to go to Jesse Real. Michael, thank you so much for coming to the stage. And if you want to ask questions, we have an hour left. Feel free to raise your hand and come on stage and you will save your space online. So Jesse, please unmic and let us know what your question is. Jesse, if you're speaking, you just got to click that bottom right-hand microphone and go ahead and unmic and ask your question. All right, so it looks like he might have stepped away from his phone. So I see another hand has been raised. So let's go ahead and let him up. All right, so yeah, Brian, thank you so much for coming up. Please let us know what your question is.
Hey, I just joined. I'm really just asking about the title. So if I have a 2875 rate on a 30-year mortgage, considering the current inflationary environment, what incentive would I have to pay it off ahead of time?
Okay, so can you give us just a little bit more information? I got a 28. You said I got a 2875 interest rate.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, are you able to see this on online? If you can actually go to a tablet or your computer and actually see the example if you want.
See what exactly? The link up top or something else?
No, it's you would go to if you go to on a separate device, put in ice10kvideos.com. It'll take you to our YouTube channel, and you can actually see this example.
Okay, I can do that.
All right. That way you can listen on Clubhouse and watch the example. I got 2.875 as an interest rate, and the amount of the mortgage is how much?
300 or so.
So it started out at about 300,000.
That's how much is currently left.
What was it from the beginning?
450 thereabouts.
450. Let's start there. Okay, so we got 450,000. Okay, and at 2.875 was a 30-year loan.
Yeah.
All right, great. And so our principal and interest payment on that is $1,867.02. That's just the principal and interest. We're not including the taxes and insurance. Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, at 2.875, when we close on this loan, the bank has to show us how much interest we would owe over the 30-year term if we decided to keep it that long. And that would be $222,127.20. So my first question is $222,000. Okay. Hold on for a second. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen. There we go. It's $222,000. Is that 2.875% of 450,000?
No.
Okay, it's actually 49%. So already we're behind the 8 ball on this thing. We're going to pay 49% of what we borrowed in the form of interest. So that's the first thing we have to take a look at. So what we're looking at is if we are conflating compound interest with amortized interest, some people who ask that question are wondering, am I really saving that much interest on a 2.875 mortgage when I could be taking that money and putting in some sort of investment? Is that kind of where this is going?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So what's the best and highest use of my money? Yeah, I get it. So here's what's going on. First of all, let's take a look at payment number 1 on this. Payment number 1, $788.89 goes to principal, $1,078 goes to interest. That's what's going on. And if we watch this thing, we're taking a look at this and seeing that we have interest payments starting out at $1,078. A year from now, starting a year in, we're still making interest payments of $1,057.08. So it starts out at $1,078, and it only goes down a year later to $1,057. So every month we're making $1,000 payments, and not only for the first year, we're making $1,000 interest payments for year 2 and year 3 and part of year 4. So after we're 36 months, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 months in, we've paid this loan down by $33,000 if we just made the minimum payment. but it cost us $41,605 in interest in just 40 months. That's what's going on. So what we're trying to do is show how you can use small amounts of money to kill that amount of interest so you don't have to pay all of that interest. It's not the interest rate that we need to focus on. It's the interest cost that we focus on. So my question is the interest cost of $41,605, is that too much to pay your loan down by $33,000 in just 40 months?
I could probably make more than that interest cost if I invested the money elsewhere.
In 40 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Easily, actually.
Fantastic. All right. So let's see what we can then do about, let's go ahead and invest that money. All right. And then see if there's any other monies that might be sitting dormant elsewhere. So a lot of the investors that I talk to have money that is sitting on the sideline for repairs and things when things go wrong, the maintenance. Do you keep a reserve fund?
I do, but it's not that big. I'm net short on the market overall.
Okay.
So that's where a lot of it is.
All right. So even if we have just a small amount of money in reserve, so let's say we want to keep the majority of our money working and making more money, but we keep a little bit of money on the side. And do you have a particular plan as to how to keep a reserve fund funded? Do you have a particular percentage of your monies that come in that you put into the reserve fund, or just whenever we get around to it?
I've got a specific percentage that comes.
There you go. That's what we need. So I'm going to give you give you a little bit of it, the way that we look at this. I'm just going to throw some numbers out here. Let's say I got about 10 grand in reserve. Okay. And I've got a certain amount of money that goes into that reserve monthly. And on this particular mortgage, I've got about 10 grand in reserve. If I took out $5,562 out of my reserve account and applied it to this mortgage, now I'm still investing my other money. But if I took $5,562 out of my reserve account and applied it to mortgage principal as a prepayment, that knocks off about 7 months worth of payments I never have to make. And it saves me $6,400 in interest I never have to pay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So if I did something like that, where I'm using my reserve funds instead of the money that I could invest, then is it possible I could have the best of both worlds?
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. And then if I decided that I just took about 5 grand out, what if I decided just to wait until I build that back up out of the monies that I have designated that go into that account to pay myself back?
Let me step back a few seconds.
Sure.
Hold on. So 5562, and we're assuming a mortgage payment of what, 18 something?
Yeah, we're looking at a mortgage payment of 1867.02.
Yeah. So and you're saying, okay, so 5562, and it shaves off 7 months if you put it towards the principal today, right?
Correct.
If I put that towards anything that pulls in approximately 7% year over year, and let's say I do it for, let's find out, 562.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so after about 20 years, it'll be about what, 16,000 thereabouts.
Right.
That is what the I mean, I can just divide it right now.
Well, see, here's the thing. Let's take a look at it this way.
Well, so I guess my point is this: if I invest that 5562
right,
over what a 20-year period, and I just don't touch it, and I make averaged out over that 20-year period
mm-hmm.
about 7% a year, right? There'll be some ups and
Oh, sure.
Keeps up with the market, pulls
Yeah.
about 7% a year. Then after about 20 years,
mm-hmm.
I cash that out.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 8 months, a little bit over 8 months of payments I can make towards the mortgage.
Right.
So, I mean, from what you're describing, I guess that's why I'm confused. I can
well,
spend the money now.
Well, let me help.
Yeah.
Let me help you here. So, I see where you're going, but when you're saying in 8 years, I could put that money on, and it would be just as effective as putting that money on towards a mortgage. Let me put that in my investment, and then in 8 years, apply it to the mortgage. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I mean, I guess I was taking it with the your point was it takes off. If I put in the money now,
yeah,
it takes off 7 months.
Yeah.
7 months worth of payments.
Right.
But then if I invest that money and leave it untouched for 20 years or so,
sure,
and then withdraw it at that point, liquidate it and then apply it to payments, I pay off more of the mortgage doing it that way.
Yeah, you pay off more. You pay off a good chunk of principal.
Yeah, but I still take off more months from the mortgage overall.
Yes, but here's the thing. The longer you wait, the less money you can save. So we're not paying off the mortgage to pay it off fast. We're paying off this mortgage to pay it off cheap. Our focus is not how much we owe. The focus is on how much it costs to borrow how much I owe. So the longer I wait, so if I have, let's say I have $5,000, okay? Anytime I put $5,000 on this loan, I'm going to reduce the amount of time. I'm going to reduce the amount of principal that I owe by $5,000 no matter where I put it. I could do it this year. I could do it 5 years from now. I can do it 10 years from now. If that's all I do is apply $5,000 to this loan, I'm going to reduce how much I owe by $5,000, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if I apply that $5,000 in the first year, can I save the same amount of interest if I apply that $5,000 in the 5th year?
I guess where I'm getting lost is I don't see the value in measuring exactly how much interest was saved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at.
Well, let me put it. Maybe I could make it clearer this way. Take a look at line 12 here. Are you seeing line 12?
You can read it to me.
Okay, I have. Let's say. Let me ask you if I had an investment of $24,000. I said, listen, invest with me $24,000. Okay. And a year from now, I'll guarantee you all I will return to you is $9,592. Do you want to invest your $24,000 with me? The rest of the money is lost. Out of 24 grand, all you're going to get back from me is nine.
That risk always exists. You're right.
I'm sorry?
That risk always exists.
Exactly. So here's what I'm saying. But would you want to do it? That's my question. Would you want to invest with me if you already knew that's what you're going to get back?
Probably not. They wouldn't really make me all that savvy.
Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. If we do that, in the first year on this loan, you're giving the bank over $24,000 to pay your loan down by $9,592. That's exactly the investment you're making. You're giving them 24 grand just to create $9,500 in equity. So what I'm saying is continue to invest what you're investing, but please don't lose sight of the fact that it costs you a boatload of money to just make the minimum payments to get your equity out of the thing. Because if it costs me $12,811 to get $9,500 in equity, can I justify that? If I have $9,500 laying around in an account making 0.1%, when I could apply it to this mortgage and save myself $11,000 in interest I don't have to pay.
Yeah, we may have a mild difference on approach.
Okay.
Because if I had, and that's totally fine. I just figured I would follow that track with you.
Well, listen.
And see where you went.
Listen, that is always a very good question. So what we want to do is make sure that we don't do an either or. So either we're going to be satisfied with the amount of money that we have going towards investment. I'm satisfied with the money I have going towards investment. And I don't want to touch a dime of that money, but I have some other monies that aren't being invested. Why can't I use some of those monies to kill a little bit of interest that I don't have to pay the bank? Because any amount of interest that I save and I keep track of it, I can invest that too. So if I keep this thing for 30 years, my $450,000 I'm paying for this house or paying for this property is actually a $672,000 purchase. What if I can purchase this property for 75% off by using dormant funds while I'm still investing the amount of money that I'm perfectly satisfied with?
By the way, I completely agree with you in the current rate market. Like absolutely 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I think the position, where I'm coming from is for anybody who managed to get a rate before the colossal rate hikes took place.
Yeah.
I think there's due consideration, or there is some consideration due to whether or not it's cheaper to actually make the minimum payments in that context. Because I think kind of looking at your example,
yeah.
If I'm going to pay, let's say 55, if I've got a reserve fund of 10,000,
yeah,
and I'm going to pay 55.62
yeah.
to the mortgage today, go straight to principal, take 7 months off the back end of the mortgage, right? And that would be totally fine. Like that seems like a great idea. It would make sense, right? But in the current, I guess in the current lending market, and just I mean, maybe investing the money right this second, right at this exact moment, unless you really have a good pulse on what the market is doing, and that's pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
I'm taking a huge gamble by taking a net short position, because who knows? Maybe the government comes in and decides, screw it, the inflation is totally fine. Let's goose the market with more dollars, and then all of a sudden the market crash stops, right? At the cost of the value of the current dollar. But that being said, if we're to believe that the market is going to have like a downward trajectory for a little bit, maybe investing that money right at the second is not the greatest idea. But at the same time, I think there's something to be said about, well, if you're going to put 55, 60, if you've got a cheap mortgage, like a dirt cheap mortgage where the interest rate is less than inflation, right? And you take the money, you've got 55.62 you want to put towards prepaying the mortgage, or you can invest it somewhere else. I think when you're looking at the potential returns from the potential returns on that investment, even if it's pulling a pretty relatively garbage 4 or 5%, I think there's something to be said about actually investing those dollars, because the debt that you have already is so cheap, and because it's so difficult to get more of that cheap debt going forward. Actually, it's impossible now, because the rates are what, 5.5?
Well, yeah. Let's talk about that for just a second. And number one, here's what we're talking about. When we conflate equate the interest on my mortgage at 2.875 with compound interest that I could make, that could be a mistake. So what we want to do is figure out what amortized interest is actually doing to this loan. So let me ask you this: if I were to borrow $9,000, okay, $9,000 for 1 year, and I don't care what they tell me the interest rate is, but the interest cost to pay back the $9,000 is $12,811.76. Can anybody tell me that is 2.875%?
Nope.
Nope. I'm borrowing $9,500, paying it back in 1 year. I got to pay the bank 12 grand. So if your bank called you up today and says, I got a deal for you, I'm going to lend you $10,000 for 13 months. You pay it back, and then you pay me back $13,866 in interest. You would never sign that loan.
True, but did we just take a 1 year slice off of a 30-year mortgage?
But my point is, when we take a look at even the 1 year slice, it takes a certain amount of interest to move the loan from point A to point B. If I'm going to move the loan from point A to point B, let's say line 1 to line 12, moving it from point A to point B, I can either choose to pay $12,811 in interest to do it, or I can choose to pay something less than $12,800 in interest to do that one thing. Now, the deeper you get into the loan, the amount of interest you can save is less and less and less. There's a certain point, you're exactly right. Then we need to stop putting money towards debt reduction and then take that money and put it towards wealth creation. But in the beginning of this loan, it's not 2.875. If I borrow $9,000 and I pay back $9,000 and $9,000 in interest on top of that, that's 100% loan all day.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But my counterpoint to it is,
yep.
If you take the principal, if you take the prepayment to the principal that you're talking about,
yeah,
and instead you invest that,
yep,
right, and you get, again, just for the sake of example,
sure,
we'll take a garbage return, right? We'll say 5%, right? I haven't actually done the math on this yet.
Yeah, I know you will.
But let's assume 5% returns, right?
Yeah.
And then you let it accrue. You don't touch it. Maybe it's pegged. Maybe it's the next fund. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Relatively stable, passive investment.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And you let it accrue.
Right.
And then what you'll notice is that if you compare the size of that investment,
yeah, to
the number of payments you would have shaved off from the end of the mortgage, then what you could essentially do is, great, you've invested that same money. It will have grown more than whatever amount of mortgage payments you save on the back end. I'm not,
and again, everything that we've been taught is looking at how quickly I can pay off the mortgage. Nothing we have been taught is being taught to us about the cost of borrowing the money. Again, we don't pay mortgages off fast. We pay off all of our debt cheap, not just the mortgage, but all of our debt. The average family has 13 different debts. The average family is paying 35 to 39% of their take-home pay in just interest payments.
Yeah, so I suppose for families, it's probably a different calculus.
Yeah,
mine, right.
Right.
I'm very much dual income, no kids.
Yeah.
Right? I get that. I hear you.
All right. So let's take a look at this. Now I'm going to do one more thing here because we mentioned the interest rates going to around 5%. Let me show you something since you're looking at this. I'm going to change the interest rate to 5% on this.
By the way, my argument tilts entirely in your favor if you change it to 5%. I would 100 billion%.
Oh no, I listen. If I had a choice between the 2.875 and the 5% loan, and I could afford the payment, guess which loan I would take? I'd take the 5% loan all day. And here's why. All right. So let's take a look at, remember, I mentioned about $9,500 prepaid to the 2.875 loan. Okay. About $9,500 takes off about 12 months if I were to prepay that. Now, again, please don't think that I'm saying I should take money that I could invest and pay off the mortgage. I would never do that. Never. I want to make sure that I'm investing the right amount of money and that I'm also saving interest with some monies that are kind of laying dormant that I could do something else with. I'm saying let's do both, not either or. But But the $9,500 with the same amount of principal takes off 17 months off this loan. It's actually easier to pay the loan off faster and cheaper at 5% than it is at 2.875. That's what amortization does to a loan. It just makes it topsy-turvy. And you say, well, Don, look at the interest payments on this thing. And my retort to that would be interest payments I skip don't matter. They just don't. If I'm looking to save money and interest and I'm stuck with this 5% rate, I'm not going to let that 5% rate deter me from making an investment, because I can make great headway at a higher percent interest loan if I have a little bit of money on the side to prepay. So I love it. I love the higher interest loans today. And I love the fact that, they're talking about for at least for residential clients, they're talking about 40-year loans. I can't wait to get a 40-year loan and a 5% interest rate. I will kill that thing by using this method. Brian, I want to thank you for coming to the stage. Do you have any other questions for us? This has been a healthy debate, man. I love it.
It's a good conversation. I appreciate you.
Listen, man, thank you so much. Jared, back to you, sir.
Man, that was a powerful conversation. So appreciate you for coming up to the stage. And Don, if somebody wanted to reach out to you to understand how, like, just to get all this knowledge and also understand the month, year, and date that they could be debt free, how would they get in touch with you?
All right. Well, listen, folks, and so that we can respect the guy's position, let's talk in terms of real estate investors and saving money and interest. So if you want to save the maximum amount of interest, and we can do the critical point analysis that it would take to figure out how much money we should be putting towards investing and how much money we could use to save on interest cost, because that's a tricky calculation. We do not want to have an opportunity cost lost situation by having too much money going towards our investment, not enough money going towards interest cancellation. We don't want too much money going towards interest cancellation and not enough money going to wealth creation. We want to do both. I think we can come up with a very good plan. And not only that, but take the money that we didn't pay in interest and apply that towards building wealth as well. You can do that by going to ice10klive.com. Click on that up above. And if you're watching this online, ice10klive.com. There's a button there that says get a savings and earnings report. Put your information in there, and then we will do a report for you. And my team will get a hold of you and set up a consultation. Once that consultation is set up, you'll know the month, day, and year you can be debt free and how much interest you save. If you are a real estate investor, we will work with you to determine how much, when you can cash out refi years sooner at a much lower interest cost and keep reusing that money. Oh my gosh, it is going to be a fantastic system where you can determine how much of your money goes into investing, and then we will help you to determine how much money you want to put towards wealth creation, building equity 4 to 5 times faster at a much lower interest cost. Jared, I absolutely would love having that conversation.
Absolutely. And also, I want you to let people know about your best-selling book on Amazon, where they can read up on everything that you've learned and how you apply your method to different scenarios.
The name of the book is P.I.L.L Method, A Better Way to Eliminate Debt. And out of 33 million titles, this is the only book that goes over what we talked about today, that helps us to read an amortization schedule and teaches us how to defeat it, and then goes into our opportunity cost calculator, which is our technology that guides us into and doing all of the math. It tells us what month, it tells us how much money to move, what month to pay it in, what day of the month to pay it on, and which loan to attack so that we can save the maximum amount of interest per dollar while we're also investing the majority of our money. This book brings out those tenets and then goes into why we need a calculator to beat the bank's computer at their own game. Jared, thank you very much for bringing that up today.
Absolutely. And if you do purchase the book today, he has a partnership with 10K Cards. And 10K, you want to kind of break that down for us? If you're around.
He's probably in another room. So, folks, here's the partnership that we have with 10K Cards. That I have that is a digital business card that you see above your heads. Anybody who buys the book, we partner with 10K Cards. The Pill Method will buy your digital card for you just because you bought our book. And so, not only do you get a great book with great information, you also get a great digital card, which is the best thing on the planet right now as far as digital cards go.
And how you do that is screenshot the receipt and go to ICE 10K Live and upload it to where it says I'm ready, and build out your card to your specifications with your social media handle, website, phone number, etc. Let us know where you want that digital card dropped off, and you'll have your very own 10K card valued at $100.
Kenyatta, I haven't had a chance to talk to you today. In fact, I've been trying to catch up with you, but every time I call a particular city, you have left that city and gone to another city.
Yes, I was in Philadelphia yesterday to partake in the Young Professionals, the National Urban League of Young Professionals, and it was phenomenal. And I was here to make sure that I lend a supporting hand to my good girlfriend, Miss Cooper Home Loans, and she did an amazing job at letting them know about how they can become the bank, and just bracing for this market that we're in right now. And I just think, Don, it's going to be phenomenal when all these in Nashville.
So when you were there in Philadelphia, did you make any connections while you're there and you be in the room, by being in that room?
What's my name, Don? You know I made connections, okay? I got the chance to meet and talk with a guy that is a financial service provider as well. He actually helps people plan trust and stuff like that. Then there was a gentleman there that actually helped with DBEs and structuring your business for success there. A lot of powerhouses. I can go on and on. And at my table, it was a wealth of knowledge, and we were able to provide knowledge as well. And so I network. You know me.
Listen, the reason why I brought that up because we met at a networking event, and we're having a very special networking event coming up. I've been to a lot of networking events. So what we wanted to do from the Pill Method perspective is come up with a networking event that is second to none. One that you've never seen before. 16 speakers from that are experts in their field. That's number one. They're going to be coming to Nashville, descending on Nashville. We're holding it, number one, at a 5-star resort, nothing less.
Gaylord Resort.
The Gaylord Opryland Resort. That's right. Okay. So a 5-star resort, that's number one. Number two, we're going to have speakers on Friday and we're going to have speakers on Sunday. What are we doing on Saturday, Kenyatta? What are we doing on Saturday there?
We're actually enjoying the resort itself and enjoying each other, and just kind of having our own masterminds and breaking into groups, just very organically meeting one another and trying to get some deals funded. That's going to be my thing. Who wants some money?
Exactly.
I have my laptop. I will be ready to crunch them numbers with you and get you started, whether you're in concept, whether you're scaling, or whether you have a real estate project, perhaps a portfolio. And I am also excited to let you guys know you might want to see your girl, because I am now able to offer 100% financing on both the purchase and the rehab. So, yeah.
What? The purchase and the rehab?
Yep.
Listen, folks, this thing just gets better and better, and you'll be able to rub shoulders with the likes of Jay Massey, Alicia Cooper Home Loans, Anthony Glenn, and others. Just click on that link above, and you'll be able to see that. And just go to ICE 10K Live, ICE 10. I'm sorry, ice10klive.com, and you'll be able to click on the button that says tickets, and you'll be able to see this program as well. Listen, folks, this thing is going to sell out, and it's going to be fantastic with all of these people here. And we're going to be talking about, not only are we going to be talking about their expertise and what they're going to be able to teach you, but they're going to be talking about mindset, the mindset that got them there and the mindset that keeps them there. And we have the number one mindset coach in the entire world that's going to be there. It is Dr. Eric Thomas. Yes, they call him E.T., the hip hop preacher. Let's hear a little bit from E.T. right about now.
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your grandma counting on you to do the right thing. Your mama counting on you. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters are counting on you to cash in on this opportunity. Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. There are kids that don't get what they don't eat like you eat. They're at the same university. They don't get what you get. But with this right here, your skill set, this thing can take you wherever you want to go and then take your kids wherever you want them to go. You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. I want you to chant it out. This is it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten.
Make these deals if you're not in the room, and this is going to be a perfect place and an excellent place to be in the room, not only to hear what you need to hear, but to also we're building in plenty of time to interact with all the people that are bringing this knowledge. So Jared, back to you, sir. Do we have any other questions that are ready to go?
Yes, we do. We have Vet on the stage, and we're going to get right to you. So Vet, thank you so much for coming up. Please let us know what your question is.
Good morning. Let's go. It's this beautiful, blessed Sunday. I just wanted to thank God for even being able to speak right now. I can't stay long because I'm about to tune into church virtually. Thank God. But I just wanted to pay homage and just thank everybody on the stage. Don, thank you for what you do and seeing the need and filling it. Jared, thank you for even making this opportunity for everybody to have a platform. I'm just so excited because this is not my strength. I don't know numbers. I don't do calculators or anything like that usually. But all the nuggets and the gems that you let forth just now, I was sitting here typing everything, and I'm a visual person, so I actually logged on to the video on the YouTube video clip, and I had a couple of questions because I do aspire to be a multifamily legacy leaver for my children. And I know, and also 10 cards, thank you, because I'm about to tap into that offer as well. And I'm gonna look into the other thing that you have above. But anyway, sorry, I have a mouthful. I wanted to know exactly how, because you mentioned something about if you have a higher interest rate, because right now everybody's kind of nervous about paying for buying property and making deals and everything because the interest rates are higher right now. And you know, it's a hesitancy. A lot of the signing agents, which I was gonna become, are like losing. It seems like the business kind of slowed down. So I'm trying to find out how it would make how it would make sense. And I did see, I heard you say you have an offer for strategy, and I will be taking advantage of that when I finish this my church and everything like that. But how does it really work when you have a higher interest rate and you're like, okay, I want to make this investment, but I don't know if it's going to work out. You said they're extending to 40-year mortgages or something. I'm going to look at the YouTube and silence my mic because I want to really pay attention to the answer.
Listen, this is so good. I am so glad you asked that, Vet. So if you are using the same device, this probably means you can't talk to me, or are you watching the YouTube on a different device?
No, I can talk to you. I'm just going back and forth.
Okay. All right, great. So let me go over this. It's all about controlling the principal payment. You want to stay in control of your principal payment. You want to have the right principal payment for you. All right. So now, if this were me and I can afford the payment, and they would say, "Oh, interest rates are going up to 5%," I would not let that deter me. Okay, because I don't know where in the country are you?
I'm in New York.
Oh my goodness. So all right.
At 6% the interest rate there.
All right. This is perfect. This is perfect. All right, this is perfect. So, folks, when the interest rates go up, we get used to something, but then when it goes up, we feel like, that it's FOMO that sets in, fear of missing out. It's not a real thing. FOMO is not real. Okay? Fear of missing out is not real, because if I've got a higher interest rate, then I look at my payment. Don't look at the interest rate, look at my payment. So if I look at my a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and I want to pay rent in New York and Brooklyn, how much am I paying, sister?
A lot.
A lot. Okay. But if I get a 5% mortgage, a 5 or 6% mortgage on my building or my house, and it comes in under what I would be paying for rent, now I put it in perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Find out what it actually is. Don't be sad that you missed the 2.9. That's number one. Look at, is that 5%? I'm still in the money. It's still a deal. Okay? That's number one. Number two is this. If you're watching, I've got the $450,000 loan on still at 2.875. We're putting that back on the screen. Okay? And
can you make it 3.75, because that's mine.
I could do that.
Thank you.
Listen, you're in control here. 3.875. Oh, I got 878. Look at me. 3.875, 30 years, 450,000. Our principal and interest payment is $2,116.07. It's going to it takes a little while to catch up on YouTube what we're doing here. All right?
Right.
But you'll be able to see that, okay? So now when I scroll down to take a look at my payments, all right? My principal and interest payments, my principal payments start out around in the 660 range. That's my principal payments. You see that?
Okay.
All right. So if I make a payment this month, and this is not how my program works. I'm just explaining how the banks treat prepayments. Okay. And my principal payment for next month is $665.09. All right, $665.09.
Okay.
I made my payment this month, but next month's principal payment is $665.09. What if I chose to pay that this month instead of waiting till next? Yeah.
So pay the principal or the interest?
Yeah, just the principal, because the interest is just rent on your money. We just want to avoid that. Okay. So mortgage payment has only to do with the principal payment because you borrowed this money in the principal column. You did not borrow the money in the interest column.
Wow.
So mortgage payment only refers to the amount that you borrowed.
Right.
This is rent on the amount that you borrowed.
Wow.
Okay, that's number one. So if I make my payment here this month, next month's principal payment is $665.09. What if I chose to give that to the bank this month as well? Do you know they have to subtract that from what I owe too?
Wow.
When they subtract that money, I'm paid down to line 2 on my amortization schedule. And my next mortgage payment now for next month jumps to line 3. For $665, I just got rid of all of line 2.
Wow.
It's eliminated. And the interest, I just got rid of $1,450.98 in interest.
Wow.
Gone. Never have to pay. So for $665.09, I got rid of line 2. How does that look to you?
No, that looks great. I understand it. I want to pay less, so I'm all with you.
So any questions about this so far?
No, I understood that.
Let me show you what happens. Okay, now remember, this interest rate is at 3.875. Let me show you what happens at 5%. Now remember, our payments start out in the 660 range. Those are our principal payments. When you raise the interest rate to 5%, now look at my, when it catches up, tell me what my principal payments are now.
662.
Yep. Watch when it catches up though.
Okay.
I'm getting a drink of water while it's catching up.
You deserve it. Oh my God. Crazy. I want to own a multifamily.
Oh shoot, you need to in New York. You really do.
Cause I'm like, what? That's the but I think I need a God strategy, like a God money strategy. That's I'm like, I think I'm definitely going to take advantage of that opportunity.
Listen, we can find you a lender. You work with Kenyatta. She can help find you a lender that can handle that does New York. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. New York has some crazy laws, but we'll find somebody that can help you. Okay. Now, can you see the principal payment now?
Yeah.
What does the principal payment start out now?
$1,870.
Those are the interest payments.
The principal next to that is $545.
Oh, so we were at $600 principal payments.
Yeah.
When I raised, and so you saw what happens if I pay an extra $660 something, right? I knock out payment number. Now, how much does it cost to knock out payment number 2?
Wow, only $542.
So with the higher interest rate, I lower the principal payment. Let me show you something else. I'm going to go back to the loan now. I'm going to go back to our 662. All right. When it catches up, we'll be able to see line 12 where cumulative principal, that's all the principals added up for 1 year, come to $8,098. $8,098, but it costs $17,000 in interest to get it there. Okay. So now if I know that I'm going to be paying this $8,000 sooner or later, do I have to pay it in 12 monthly installments?
No.
If I had it, could I give it to the bank all at once?
So pretty much take my income tax or something and just put it on here.
I'm not being prescriptive. I'm just saying this is how it works. Please don't tell people Don said take your income tax and throw it at your mortgage. Okay, we're going to give you exact amounts for every client. It's different for everybody. This is an individual thing. Now, the guy in Nashville, Tennessee, and this is why we're going to Nashville, Tennessee. We're not going to mention his name, but some people know who I'm talking about. The guy that says eat beans and rice 7 days a week, cut up your credit cards and don't go anywhere and don't do anything. Drive a 30-year-old car, take all your money and throw it at your debt. That's that guy. We are not that guy. Okay. We're not that guy. So we're going to come up with a specific program for you and specific numbers to the penny for you. Okay. But do you see what $8,000 can do to this loan and knock out a whole year? All right. And if we give this to the bank in this month, all of this is gone. All this is gone. And where are we next month? Instead of line 2, we're on line 13. Boom. Wow. That's where we would be by giving the bank that $8,000, okay, up front. But at 5%, I need to wait for it to catch up because this is exciting. This is exciting. When it catches up, I want you to see that when we do a cumulative principal of $8,000, it knocks out not 12, but 15 payments when you raise the interest rate.
So punish the principal. That's
listen. Oh, okay. Write that down. I'm clipping that right now. Stop it. I'm clipping that right. Listen, hold on, folks. I'm clipping that right now. I'm sending it to myself. Wait a minute here. She said, punish the principal. All right, so I've got away from my mic and everything. Sweetheart, what's your name? Vet
Benna.
Oh, listen, Vet Benna. So, can I use that?
Yeah, don't go ahead. Do it.
Punish the principal.
God-fearing, God-loving person. Everything that I have, anybody connected to me gets blessed. Everything I have.
I appreciate you so much for that.
Shout out! I'm giving out cornbread and chili on Junius on Mother's Day. Anybody who knows anyone that's homeless or needs something, you come down to Junius. We're gonna be. I got a couple businesses to give out food. We're gonna celebrate mothers. So there you go.
Okay, wait a second. Now we got some people from New York that were in here a little while ago. So Vet, start over and tell people where and when, and give addresses and cross streets and all that kind of stuff, because that's how y'all you New Yorkers operate.
Well, it's actually on Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
That is coming up. Actually, I think it's the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So Mother's Day on the 8th, Sunday from 1 to 3, 26 Junior Street in Brooklyn. And we're gonna I'm partnering with the church, and I'm making chili. My cousin's making her famous cornbread, and I got a couple businesses that are gonna give out food as well. So if you are, I'm gonna be at the family shelter, but there's also 3 other shelters in that same area that I'm pretty sure we're gonna be servicing. So if you do have something that you would like to give, you are more than welcome to join us at that moment. We're gonna be preaching the word of God, and we're going to be uplifting people and inspiring people, and I'm coming out with my kids. Come on.
All right. That sounds wonderful. You're not taking donations for that, are you?
No.
Okay.
That's not no.
Okay.
We just want, if you want to do something, you could. If you want to, I can send the flyer.
All right. Do you have a Cash App or something?
No, not to me, because I don't take no money from nobody.
All right. Well, listen, if there's a way to do that, put the information in the chat. If people want to help you out, they can. In New York, all right, Mother's Day, that is a great thing. Thank you so much for bringing that information. People can get it off the replay.
Okay.
So you have any other questions for me today, Vet?
No, that was the main question. But I'm gonna ask you a question about my specific problems that I'm dealing with right now.
Certainly.
Probably later on.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Okay.
Thank you for everything.
So listen, have you ever heard anybody talk about the fact that it's actually easier and cheaper to pay off a loan at a higher interest rate than it is a lower one?
You are literally you're a revolutionary, Don. I'm telling you right now, this is very inspirational, groundbreaking. I'm sitting here pivoting like humming. What did you say? Thank you for being you. Thank you for that offer, man.
You are so welcome.
I hope I can celebrate with you guys with Eric Thomas. That sounds awesome.
Listen, you want to be there in the place, and I want to tell you that this information that you're receiving, I didn't sit down to work all these numbers out. I didn't sit down. I have Asperger's. It's a mild form of autism. So when I take a look at an amortization schedule,
that's awesome. I used to work at the NYT program. They had the vocational independence program for kids like that.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of parents need a respite, like in the summertime or something, or just like a break. And that college, they offer that. I used to be a job coach and an RA back when I was in college, and we had fun with the kids. We took them places and everything. So anybody has any kids like that, that's a good place. Once they turn a certain age, you can look into that as well.
My mother could have used a rest.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, listen, by me taking a look at this amortization schedule, I see the patterns and the pictures. That's how I put things together. And I said, when these and the way that they're explaining it to us, the way that we should pay it back, it's really inefficient. All we have to do is make some changes, and then we could save up to 75% of that interest cost, and then take that money and invest it. Oh, we can get our property at 75% off on the interest cost, take that money and invest it while we're investing other funds. Listen, thank you so much for coming to the stage. I appreciate you so very much. We're at the end of our time. This is the fastest 2 hours on Clubhouse. All right, Jared, back to you, sir.
All right. So shout out to everybody that came to the room today. Really appreciate you. Shout out to the Mortgage Syndicate. If you're not following this club, then click the greenhouse at the top and make sure you follow that club. And then also make sure to follow Don's club. So what you want to do is click on Don's profile. If you're not following him already, click that follow button. Then click that bell icon next to that follow button. Click the always on notification. Then you open up all the way down. It's going to be the first club that shows up to the left. It's called the P.I.L.L method. Make sure you follow that club because we're in that room Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern time, and then on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, typically. But this month we're going to be doing some special moving around because we have this amazing event that's up at the top that we're promoting because it's going to be a life-changing, game-changing event when it comes to mindset, when it comes to networking, when it comes to education. I'll be speaking at the event about the metaverse. Kenyatta will be there. 10K will be there. Otis James, Jay Massey, Anthony Glenn, Jonathan Bing, Ms. Cooper Home Loans, and so many others will be there as well. So you definitely want to be there. So on Wednesdays, we'll actually be in Business Over Breakfast, dropping gems in that amazing club. So if you follow Don, click that bell, you'll definitely see him there. But make sure you click the P.I.L.L Method Club down in his profile so you can watch those replays. And then also go to ice10kvideos.com so you can go to his YouTube channel, click subscribe, click comment, share, like, all that stuff, and watch the replays as well and share it with your friends and family. This information is extremely important for our community, and we want to make sure that they all know about the P.I.L.L method and how to save interest costs so they can redirect that money into investments, into new properties, into their kids' inheritance, all that fun stuff. So with that being said, we're going to go through some moderator outros, and we're going to close the room up. So what we're going to do is start from the bottom and go to the top. So 10K Cards, if you are here, would love for you to unmic and give a quick outro. All right, so 10K Cards is not in the building, but make sure that you give him a follow. He does a lot of great rooms on Clubhouse, and he is one of the hardest working men on Clubhouse, and he is the creator of the 10K Card. So definitely go ahead and tap in with him. And if you buy Don's book at ice10kbook.com, once you do that, screenshot the receipt of you purchasing the book, go to ice10klive.com, go to where it says step 3, I'm ready, upload that receipt. You can get your own 10K card as well for purchasing the book. So ice10kbook.com, and then go to ice10klive.com. The instructions are in the chat. All right, up next we got Credits Goddess.
Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. I apologize. I was in and out of the room, but I'm here supporting Don. I love when he comes on consistently and share this information. And for those of you guys that are in the audience coming in every day or every time we come on and supporting Don and his message. So thank you guys so much for being here on a Sunday. You didn't have to, but you were here. My name is Rosalora Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. If any of you guys are interested in my services, whether it's personal credit, business credit, DIY, or done for you services, definitely tap in with me. I'm all about education more than just a service in itself, because this is information that we need to pass on down to one another. Just like what Don here is doing, is passing this information down. That's the wealth mindset. If we are talking about building generational wealth, this is how we do it, is passing on information. So if you guys are looking to get educated and be empowered with the information to build the confidence to do what you got to do, to start with your family, your generation right now, definitely tap in with me. The number is in my bio. You send your name and email address to 888-557-5778. And a link will be sent to you to book your free consultation or a paid consultation. The paid consultation is where we go dive deep into your credit profile and tell you exactly what you need to do to improve your credit on both personal and business. So definitely tap in with me. Don't hesitate. I don't bite. I look forward to hear from you and see you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern.
Yes. Up next is Windy City.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. I always enjoy Don's room. I've learned so much, Don. Actually, this morning I was looking at the TV and there was a 40-year mortgage
Come on with it.
available. I'm like, you're kidding me. Don, you're the first person popped in my mind. And I'm like, that'll be dope because you don't have to pay all that interest that they showed on that TV as well. So I am more than inspired. You all also had one of my dear friends up here earlier, Ray Crenshaw. Because of Ray, I own acres today in Colorado. So let me just tell you guys, networking on this app is powerful. Listen to these people. I spoke with Kenyatta.
Yes, beautiful. Hi.
Yes, hey, my friend. It's amazing to meet all these wonderful people. So I'm not even gonna give a exit whatever about me. I'm just here because I've been blessed off this app. So I just want to thank you all for showing up for yourselves. That is it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Queen. And as always, we appreciate your presence and pray that we've earned the privilege of your time. Again, my name is Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. For those that's listening on YouTube, you can reach out to me at 844-369-0365. And you want to do so. You want to grab that ticket because on Saturday, we're going to have a table set up and it's going to be let's get your deal, right? And so I'll be right there crunching the numbers with you and getting you the money you need, whether that is you are a hobbyist, maybe you sell on Etsy, small businesses, you have a real estate project that you need funding for, or perhaps you need to scale. I will be there crunching the numbers, and then I'm going to be offering a special service as I am a speaker. And so I look forward to you guys. I'm just excited. Happy Sunday.
Kenyatta, one more time with that number for the replay.
Absolutely. That's 1-800, right? So it's 369-0365. I'm sorry, you guys. I just got this number. 844-369-0365. And I got it for this purpose alone. I want to go ahead and schedule you guys because I want to actually sit down and show you just how easy it can be. Do not think it's hard like I did. It's so simple, and I'm going to show you how.
I think I saw 10K flashing his mic.
10K is in the building, Don. What up? First of all,
I got some news for you, 10K.
Go for it. Talk to me.
Yesterday, remember I reached out to you and I told you I was at the national convention for young professionals.
That's right.
I talked to at least 5 different presidents. And and they want the 10K card. So I'll be talking to you about that soon.
That part. Guys, let me tell you something. If you're not invested in relationships, you're in trouble. And because of Kenyatta, we started highlighting the word event. Because your life is a series of events, guys. And if you make a decision as to what events you want to include in your life, then you're going to determine the quality of your life at the end of your story. So while we're touching on event, I'm not sure if Don mentioned to you guys, but there's a huge event coming up next month in Nashville. It's going to be on May 20th to the 22nd. You're going to have all the speakers you know, like, and love, including Yip, your very own Yip. I'll be there. But all jokes aside, Dr. Eric Thomas will be in the building, guys. Sometimes you're going through a rough period in time. Sometimes you're going through little challenges. Sometimes you may not have the motivation you need. And Eric Thomas is actually iconic in that area. So not only is he the number one sought-out speaker in the world, but he's the best motivational speaker in the world. And Don Daniel actually got him to come to the event. He will be the featured speaker, and everyone will have the opportunity to be in the room with him. If you didn't get your tickets yet, guys, go to ice10kticket.com, or you can go to smmindset.com, smmindset.com, spiritualmoneymindset.com. Get a copy of your ticket. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. And also, once you're there, let's take a few selfies together. Kenyatta is going to be in the building. Jared is going to be in the building. Don is going to be in the building. But if you want to screenshot, wait, let me see. Credit Goddess, you're going to be there as well. That's correct. That part. If you want to screen,
I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to be there. I have
all right, so we're going to pull you. We're going to pull you on the virtual side of things. Don't worry about it.
All right, awesome.
But the point of it, guys, if you want to be in the room with these individuals and actually get a chance to meet them in person, See you there in Nashville, May 20 to the 22nd. Get your ticket at ice10ktickets.com. All right. With that said, Jared and Don, back to you.
All right. Up next, we got Derek Young.
Thank you, Derek, the mother funder Young in the building. Shout out to 10K Cars for everything that he is doing. Don, brother, you know I love you like a brother,
Yes,
and
sir.
definitely a mentor, a younger brother, because you still look good. So yeah, because I'm older, but no, just joking, man. But no, I appreciate you for creating the space and the place and opening my mind up. So, however, what you've been able to do is you've been able to help me scale by changing my traditional way of thinking with the product, this exceptional product that you have created. So, but if I could be of any assistance to anybody, if you want to know how to scale, how to become what I term the phrase mother fundable, reach out to me because we focus on three things: funding, education, and network. And that's why I am here right now, to network, to get that education, to be fundable. So these are very, very important things in order for us to get strategic and structure. And also, how do we become legal? But with that, if I can help you, reach out to me on my IG and just say hello and let's connect. I'm Derek, and I am done speaking.
Hey, Derek, we want to make sure that you tell the folks in your city about this, because I don't want them mad at me when this thing sells out. All right. I don't want them mad at you either. So get them in there so before it sells out. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm plugging them in right now.
All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jared Albritton. I'm pretty active on the app. I do a lot of rooms around generational wealth building, whether it's getting people jobs in the tech space with tech career rooms where we'll have 40 recruiters on stage. We had over 100 people get tech jobs in my spaces. If you want to see those replays, go to CH Tech Careers Recruiter Spotlight in my replays. Had a really dope room this week on Web 3.0, current events, opportunities, and careers. And you can check out that replay as well. We had like 2,400 people in that room. And also do a lot of rooms around, I help support rooms around real estate. But I'm very passionate about the metaverse, crypto, NFT space. And I'll be talking about the mindset when it comes to Web 3.0, the metaverse, crypto, NFTs in Nashville, Tennessee on May 22nd. And I'm really excited to get vulnerable and share how I, was able to persevere and succeed in my 15 plus year career in tech, and what's motivated me to, do what I've done on Clubhouse to amass the community that I've amassed to impact as many people as I can. So if you want to be a part of what I'm a part of, or if you got kids or cousins or nephews or nieces looking to break into tech, definitely give me a follow on Twitter, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and Instagram. And, my goal is just to give back for all the blessings God has given me. So with that being said, we're going to close the room out, but please make sure you buy your ticket before it sells out. It's going to sell out very soon because we're all over the place talking about it. We got 17 amazing speakers. I think the total of followers these speakers have probably goes over 1 million, right? So these tickets are going to sell out real fast. You want to be in the building. You want to be part of the Saturday organic networking sessions, and you want to actually be able to, create those connections that'll create generational wealth and a mindset that'll make you unstoppable. So make sure you click the link at the top, buy your ticket, and we look forward to seeing you there. All right, Don.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. We are going to be here again tomorrow, and I believe the club we're going to be visiting is the Black Think Tank tomorrow. And you're going to be able to not only see me in on Wednesday in BOB, but we're going to be there. I'm going to be there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays in the BOB until this event goes off. So folks, thank you so very much for being here. We'll see you tomorrow morning, and we're going to hear from Eric Thomas to take us out. Eric, what do you got to say to us, sir?
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your grandma counting on you to do the right thing. Your mama counting on you. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters are counting on you to cash in on this opportunity. Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. There are kids that don't get what they don't eat like you eat. They're at the same university. They don't get what you get. But with this right here and your skill set, this thing can take you wherever you want to go and then take your kids wherever you want them to go. You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. I want you to chant it out. This is it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten.